I like Ben, but he cannot do with trade like I do with trade. He can't do with a lot of things like I do. Actually, I think Ben Carson is lower energy than Jeb, if you want to know the truth.
I really refuse to really get into the mud pit. You know, Hillary actually was right when she said, you know, that the Republicans are there, you know, trying to destroy each other.
All right, that's a case of the two frontrunners of the Republican presidential nomination going at each other, but you might have noticed that the good doctor is at least holding the good fire. Deana Bass, his campaign press secretary, on why that might be. Deana, very good to have you. The fear seems to be by those who've been similarly hit by Donald Trump is that if you don't respond, or if you take your time responding, you'll pay dearly at the polls. Obviously, you've calculated, and the doctor's calculated otherwise. Why?
Well, you know, first of all, thank you so much, Neil, for the invitation to join you today. And it's actually not a calculation. It's who Dr. Carson is. He's said from the beginning that he's not going to go to that level and sling mud. It's not a part of who he is. He talks about, you know, having had a temper as a 14-year-old, as a teenager, having a violent temper to the point where he even tried to stab a young man. And fortunately, there was a belt buckle that stopped him from actually piercing the young man. And after that incident, he actually went and prayed and asked that his temper be taken away, because he recognized that that type of attitude, that volatile temper, gets you nowhere. And you know, the same man that you see on the news in the afternoon, this very calm man, is the person that we see every day on the campaign trail. It's
no, there's no doubt about it, Deana, and I agree. I mean, I think he's a classy guy, whatever people's views of his politics or points of view. But did he go too far the other way? I understand maybe the violent past as a kid, but did he go too far the other way? And that we have a president who's been nicknamed No Drama Obama, and now a lot of people say we wish we could see more drama. We would see a little bit more emotion out of our leader, and that might boomerang on the good doctor. What do you think?
Well, you know, I don't think that the people in Iowa certainly don't think that. Otherwise, we wouldn't see the rise in the polls.
No, you're right about
state.
that. Another one out today that shows he's holding that lead. But go ahead.
Absolutely. So, you know, and when you see Dr. Carson, when he's out in front of people, he is passionate. He's passionate about this country. He's passionate about making sure that the voters understand who he is, and not having a go-between between him and the media, where he keeps a very aggressive schedule. And the bottom line is that when people actually get a chance to hear him and see him, they love what they hear, they love what they see, and they love the fact that he's not going to take America down this road of personal political destruction in terms of attacking each other. That's not who he is, and it's absolutely not the way he runs this campaign.
No, and there again, that's to be commended for that. But here's where I think people might differ somewhat, Deana, in that by not responding, or at least saying, here's what I would do with China, to say Donald Trump is all bluster on China, Donald Trump is all bluster on Russia, or whatever. Here's how I would deal with them. In other words, you don't get a sense of what he would do. He has spoken out against China and how it's eating our lunch when it comes to this, our debt and everything else, and manipulating its currency. But do you think that gets lost because he doesn't respond more forcefully to these attacks?
Well, he definitely is not going to respond to attacks from Donald Trump or from anyone else, but he will engage voters on the issues, and that's what he's doing every day across the country. And there will be a time in the coming weeks when Dr. Carson will reveal his plans on health care, the economy, and at that point, people can look at him and they can see whether or not they do believe that he's the person to lead the country.
But as someone who has guided him, and he relies on your counsel a great deal, I can certainly understand that. If he is targeted again and again, nonstop, Donald Trump goes after him, and that has been his, MO when candidates look like they're a threat. And to give Donald Trump his due, he has always done fine just doing so. You don't think your candidate should come out swinging, responding in kind, or at least responding aggressively?
Absolutely not. That's not. No, absolutely not. That is not who Dr. Carson is. If you want to engage him on the issues, he'll be happy to do that. But to go out and attack another candidate, it's not going to happen. You can wait all day long, but that's not going to happen.
No, he's not done it yet, to your point. Deana, thank you very much. Very good having you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation.